My beloved child, I have seen your sorrow. I have counted the days that felt stolen. I have heard your questions echo through sleepless nights. Lord, what about the time I've lost? What about the years I spent in pain, in confusion, in silence? What about the seasons I wandered, the places I failed, the dreams that withered before they could bloom? And now I answer you not with the empty comfort of this world, but with the thunderous assurance of heaven. I will restore the years. Yes, the years. Not just moments, not just blessings, but the years, those long stretches of waiting, the drawn-out battles, the hidden griefs that carved deep into your soul. I will redeem them. I will gather every broken piece of your past, every almost, every not yet, every chapter you thought would never be written, and I will breathe new life into what you thought was over. You see only what was lost, but I see what can still live. I do not erase your past, I redeem it. I do not gloss over pain, I enter it. I walk into the rooms of regret and resurrection alike, and I make all things new. Nothing you've walked through will be wasted. Not one tear, not one disappointment, not one closed door. I was there, even in your darkest hour. I was shaping something eternal in the dust of delay. Even the places that seemed abandoned were under my watchful eye. You thought the field was barren, but deep underground, I was planting seeds. Seeds that will now bloom. Here's a harvest coming that will not match what you've sown, it will exceed it. I am the God of abundance, not just restoration. I do not return as man returns, I repay, pressed down, shaken together, overflowing. I will give you beauty for ashes. I will give you joy that makes sorrow forget how to speak. I will give you peace so rich it will silence the echoes of your trauma. And the time you thought was lost, I will make it serve you. The years the locusts devoured, I will make them bow to your breakthrough. But hear me now, my restoration is not a replay of what was, it is a resurrection of what is greater. I am not simply bringing you back, I am bringing you forward. Forward into purpose. Forward into healing. Forward into clarity. You will not leave this season the same. You will come out radiant, refined, rebuilt. No longer bound by what was, but ready to walk boldly into what shall be. You will wear your testimony like a crown, not hidden in shame, but glowing in glory. There are promises I still intend to fulfill. There are dreams I planted in your spirit that have not expired. Though they tarried, they did not die. They only waited for the right time. And the right time is beginning now. Don't look back in longing, look ahead in faith. Do not mourn what was, for I am about to make you laugh with what will be. My child, it's not too late. Not for the calling, not for the vision, not for the healing. You are not behind schedule, you are being prepared for divine acceleration. The days ahead will move faster than you imagined, but you will not be overwhelmed, you will be ready. I've been building your endurance, your discernment, your dependency on me. And now I will restore what was broken, delayed, or buried. Even your heart I will restore that too. The part of you that stopped dreaming. The part that braced itself against more disappointment. I am reaching in gently. I am reviving the soft places. I am teaching your heart to hope again, to believe again, to love again. You are not too hardened, too far gone, too worn down. I have already begun the work, and I will finish what I started. So walk forward. Don't cling to the ashes, lift your eyes to the horizon. The sun is rising. The new day is not coming, it's here. Can you feel it? Can you sense the shift in the spirit? What was dormant is stirring. What was silent is beginning to sing. The wind is carrying the sound of rain, and the clouds are heavy with my goodness. The drought is ending. The shame is lifting. The years are returning. And when I restore in full. So, child of my heart, rise from the dust. Wash your face. Strengthen your frame. Because the time you thought was lost will be redeemed in such glory, you'll forget the pain it took to get here. Not because the scars will vanish, but because they will no longer sting. They will shine, and the world will see them and know, I am the Lord who restores. You trusted me through the famine, and now trust me with the feast. The years are coming back drenched in glory, and I will walk with you into every single one of them. My precious one, look at me now. Not through the lens of your past, not through the distorted mirror of the world's standards. Look at me through the eyes of your spirit, for I am gazing back with eyes full of love, full of fire, full of eternal truth. I want you to hear what the noise has tried to drown out. I want you to receive what your fears have tried to reject. You are not a mistake in progress, you are a miracle in motion. You are becoming what I've already spoken. Before you ever took your first breath, heaven saw you. A fullness of you. The purpose in you. The light I would set ablaze in you. I did not simply love the idea of who you could become, I loved you entirely, from the foundation of time. Not one version of you ever surprised me. I saw your weaknesses and still whispered, mine. I saw your fears and still chose you. I saw every sin and still sent my son. And when you rose from the ashes of surrender, heaven celebrated not because you had perfected yourself, but because you had returned to me. You've measured yourself against timelines, achievements, and expectations. You said, I should be further along. I should be better by now. I should be over this. But I say, you are exactly where my grace is shaping you. You are not behind. You are not defective. You are not forgotten in the process. You are becoming. And becoming takes time. You know how I see you. Not as incomplete or insufficient, but as in process and radiant. I see the raw clay and the future vessel at once. I see the fragments and the masterpiece I am forming. You see failure, I see formation. You see delay, I see depth. You see struggle, I see strength emerging from it. Let me whisper this truth into your soul. You are further along than you realize. Every time you chose me over comfort, you grew. Every time you forgave when it would have been easier to remain bitter, you advanced. Every time you worshiped through weeping, you ascended. Every quiet yes, every silent surrender, every whispered still I believe, these are the markers of your becoming. They are more powerful than public platforms, more sacred than applause. Heaven sees them, records them, honors them. You've looked in the mirror and seen someone unfinished. But I look at you and see someone faithful, someone who keeps walking, someone who fell and got up again, someone who doubted, yet kept praying, someone who questioned, yet never let go. This is strength. This is beauty. This is holiness. And yes, you are changing. No, it's not always visible. No, it's not always easy. But it is real. The fruit is growing even in the soil of struggle. I am pruning what no longer serves you. I am healing what you buried long ago. I am refining your motives, redirecting your path, restoring what sin and sorrow tried to steal. This becoming is not punishment, it is preparation. I am enlarging your heart to carry more of me. I am increasing your sensitivity to my voice. I am training your hands for spiritual war and your feet to walk boldly into territory the enemy tried to keep from you. So do not grow weary. Do not despise the slow days. Do not curse the silence. I am still working. I am not a passive potter. I am intimately involved in every detail of your formation. You are not left alone to figure it out. My Spirit lives in you, and He is guiding the process of your becoming not just for this life, but for eternity. And child, when I look at you, I do not see someone barely getting by. I see a warrior rising. I see a lover of my presence. I see a messenger of hope. I see a vessel of glory. I see you whole, even when you feel fragmented. I see you anointed, even when you feel dry. I see you chosen, even when you feel overlooked. I see you mine, always. This season is not wasted. It is sacred. The hidden work is the holiest work. Don't rush it. Don't trade it for fast success or shallow affirmation. Let me finish what I've started. For when you emerge, it will not be with applause, it will be with authority. The kind that comes from a life laid down, a soul forged in fire, a heart purified by love. You are becoming step by step, breath by breath, day by day. And what you're becoming is not just someone better, it's someone new. So let the world misunderstand you. Let them question your pace. Let them dismiss what they cannot see. But you keep becoming. Because I, the Lord your God, have spoken over you already, complete in Christ. And what I speak does not return void. My beloved, lean close now. I have something to tell you, something I have waited to whisper in the heat of your trial, in the furnace where you thought I had left you alone. You've walked through fire. I know. I've watched the flames lick at the edges of your joy. I've seen the smoke cloud your vision, and I've felt your breath catch as the heat of this season grew unbearable. But let me speak clearly now, with a voice that silences storms and calms even the most tormented soul. You were never alone in the fire. Not for a single moment. Even when you couldn't feel me, I was there. Even when the flames roared louder than your prayers, I stood beside you, shielding your soul. You thought you were burning, but child, you were being refined. You thought you were breaking, but I was fortifying you with unshakable strength. You thought the fire would destroy you, but I have only allowed what will deliver you. This fire is not your end, it is the place where bondage melts, where fear disintegrates, where old lies lose their grip, and where my glory is revealed through you. Don't you remember the fourth man in the fire? Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, when they stood firm, when they refused to bow, the fire did consume them. It only consumed what had bound them. The ropes fell away, but they walked unscathed. The flames couldn't touch them because I walked among them. So it is with you. The ropes that held you, the fear, the shame, the chains of old identities are burning away. But you, my beloved, will emerge with not even the smell of smoke on your skin. You've asked, why must I go through this? And I answer now, because there are parts of you that could only awaken in the fire. There are dimensions of my presence, depths of trust, heights of revelation that only blaze into being when the comfort is stripped away. I do not delight in your suffering. I do not rejoice in your pain. But I rejoice in what this fire is revealing: a pure heart, a strengthened spirit, a relentless love that remains when everything else falls away. You have not failed me just because you wept. You have not disappointed me just because you were afraid. The strength I seek is not emotionless, it is rooted in faith that holds fast even when your voice shakes. You've kept walking. You've kept seeking. You've chosen me, again and again, even when you were surrounded by flames. And that, my child, is worship. That is devotion. That is what moves heaven. So now, listen closely. This fire will not last forever. You are passing through, not perishing in it. This is a through moment, not a final one. I am already preparing the waters of refreshing. I am already opening doors to wide spaces beyond the furnace. You will not stay here, but you will leave changed. When you come out, you will speak with authority not borrowed from books, but earned in the secret furnace of endurance. Your words will carry weight because they will carry fire. Not the fire of destruction, but the fire of my spirit. A fire that comforts, that convicts, that restores. You will carry my presence into places scorched by hopelessness, and others will look at your life and ask, "How did you survive?" And you will answer, "Because I was never alone." This fire is forming your testimony. This fire is marking you. This fire is holy. Do not rush it. Do not curse it. Do not waste it. Let it do its work. Let it refine your vision, burn away every lie, illuminate every truth. Let it clear the fog from your heart and awaken your hunger for my voice above every other. Let it remind you that when everything is stripped away, I remain, and I will never leave you. So if you feel the heat today, remember this. I am the God who parts seas and stills storms. Yes, but I am also the God who steps into the fire with you. I do not rescue from a fire. I rescue by entering in, and I will bring you out. Not calling, not barely breathing, but standing, shining, glorifying my name with every breath. So lift your head, child of flame, for what was meant to destroy you is becoming the very thing that displays my power. The fire is not your end, it is your beginning. My precious child, I know what you've been thinking in the hidden places of your heart. I see the doubts creeping in quiet, persistent, whispering lies that perhaps you missed it. That maybe too much time has passed. That perhaps the detours disqualified you. That the mistakes have marred my plan. That you're too far gone to walk in the fullness of what I promised. But I speak now into the deepest ache, the most fragile places of your wandering soul. I am not finished with you. No, not even close. I have not withdrawn my hand. I have not revoked my promise. I have not torn up the blueprints of your destiny. What I spoke over you before you were born still stands. My word does not decay with time. It does not wither in the face of failure. It does not bend to human opinion or weaken under the weight of delay. What I authored in eternity cannot be erased by the temporary struggles of time. You have not disqualified yourself. You are not broken beyond use. You are not too late. You are not too damaged. What feels like an ending to you is only an interlude in my greater unfolding. Yes, you've been through fire. Yes, you've made mistakes. Yes, you've known failure. But so have all those I've used. David, who fell in sin. Peter, who denied me. Paul, who persecuted my people. I restored them all. I redeemed every scar, and I will redeem yours. You ask, but what about the years I wasted? And I answer, I will restore them. You ask, but what about the opportunities I missed? And I say, I can open doors no one can shut. You ask, but what if I'm not strong enough anymore? And I whisper, My strength is made perfect in weakness. Your story isn't finished because I am the one writing it. And I never end on failure. I never end in despair. I never write tragedies for the ones I call my own. I write testimonies, redemption stories, psalms of joy sung from the very ground where weeping once fell like rain. I'm not just writing your story. I'm your story. Every chapter turns by my hand, and I promise you this: the next one will not look like the last. The enemy has tried to convince you that you're done, but child, he doesn't get the final word. I do. He's loud, but I am sovereign. He accuses, but I defend. He reminds you of who you were, but I continually speak over you who you are becoming. You are becoming radiant. You are becoming bold. You are becoming whole. You are becoming someone who rises again and again, because resurrection runs in your spiritual blood. And here's what you must understand: your calling is not fragile. Your purpose does not evaporate with failure. I do not give gifts and then snatch them away when you struggle. No, I'm the kind of father who gives and keeps giving, who restores the years, who calls you back and says, "Start again. I'm still with you. Start again." Even if you feel like you've tried 1,000 times, try once more with me at the center. Even if you're tired of hoping, even if you don't see the way, even if you're limping instead of leaping, start again, because this time, the wind of my spirit is behind you. This time, the foundation is deeper. This time, the fire in you is real. You've been through the wilderness. You've been tested in silence. You lost things that mattered. And yet, you're still here. Still believing. Still seeking. That, child, is the evidence of my hand on your life. The fact that you haven't quit, even with all that's come against you, proves that my grace is active in your spirit. You think your strength is small, but I see it as great because it's rooted in faith. And I honor faith. Even mustard seed faith. Especially mustard seed faith. So, no more listening to the voices that tell you it's too late. Silence them. Rebuke them. Lift your head. Square your shoulders. Stand in the truth that the one who began a good work in you will complete it. Not might. Not maybe. Will. I am the finisher. And what I finish, I glorify. The next season will not look like the last. The next chapter will carry new oil, new doors, new divine appointments. I am breathing life into what you thought was dead. I am stirring dreams you buried in fear. I am reviving strength you didn't know you still had. You are rising again. Lot in your name and mine. Not for your glory, for my glory. And in your rising, many will rise with you. Many will believe again. Hope again. Begin again. Because when others see your stars and your shine side by side, they'll know it was me. And you will say, "He was never finished with me." My child, before you even ask, before the tears form again, before you open your lips to say what your heart aches to express, I answer you with this: I see you. Yes, you. The one who holds it together for everyone else while silently wondering if anyone notices the unraveling within. The one who smiles in the daylight and breaks in the dark. The one who serves faithfully, prays sincerely, worships fervently, and yet wonders, deep down, if they are still seen by the one they long for most. Let me speak directly to that wondering place in you. I have never looked away. Not for a moment. Not when your faith wavered. Not when your strength gave out. Not when the fear grew too loud or the questions too heavy. Not when you wandered, when you doubted, when you broke. I saw you all. I still see it all. And I am not disappointed in you. You are not invisible to me. You are not one face in a sea of millions. You are the child I formed with intention, the soul I breathed into with my own spirit. I saw your first breath, and I have never missed one since. I saw the wounds that no one else saw. I watched the silent battles rage inside you while others only noticed your silence. I saw the prayers you whispered when no one else was listening. And I not only saw them, I caught them, held them. Remembered though, I am not a God who glances. I am a God who gazes with love, with longing, with mercy. When you sit in silence, thinking no one understands, I am there. When you stare at the ceiling in the middle of the night asking, is this all I'll ever be? I am right beside you, gently reminding you, you are mine. I am not finished. And I see you. I see what you've carried. The unspoken grief. The disappointments you buried beneath responsibility. The dreams you shelved because they felt too far gone. The pain you hid because being vulnerable has cost you too much in the past. I see the way you've tried to be strong for so long that you no longer know how to rest. I see the walls you've built, even while asking me to come in. Child, let them down. I do not need your performance. I desire your presence. I do not love you for how well you carry your calling. I love you because you are mine. You've asked, but Lord, do you still have a plan for me? And I answer now, as clearly as creation itself proclaims, yes. And not just a plan, a purpose, a path, a hope, a future, even when you cannot see it, especially when you cannot see it. Your life is not an accident spiraling toward nothingness. It is a story I am writing with deliberate beauty. Even the chapters you wish never happened, I will use them. Even the tears you wish you never cried, I will redeem them. Nothing in your life is wasted. I see not only your pain, I see your potential. The fire I placed within you, the compassion born from your breaking, the depth that came from the crushing, the wisdom that grew in the wilderness. I see the ministry hidden in your mess. I see the voice being formed from your silence. I see the oil of anointing pressed from seasons no one else saw. And I'm telling you now, it will all be used. Yes, I've seen you fall, but I've also seen you get back up. I've seen the moments you chose me when it was hardest. I've seen you sow in tears. I've seen your secret obedience, your quiet generosity, your uncelebrated faithfulness. And I will reward it all. You are not forgotten. You are not disqualified. You are not lost in the crowd. You are not past your moment. You are not unseen. I am El Roy, the God who sees. And I see you. I see the desire to be used by me, not for fame, not for gain, but because your soul burns to make a difference. I planted that desire. I watered it with every encounter, every word, every wilderness. And it is growing even now, even when you can't feel it, even when nothing looks like progress. My timing is perfect. My vision is eternal. My love is relentless. So today, rest. You do not have to be seen by the world to be significant. You do not have to be applauded to be anointed. You do not have to be platformed to be chosen. You already are. You are seen. You are known. You are loved. And I, the God who sees, am not watching from a distance. I am right here with you, hand on your shoulder, heart tied to yours. eyes locked on your every step. I will not look away. My child, today I call you not to strive harder, not to push through in your own strength, not to climb higher in frantic effort, but to surrender. Yes, surrender. Not as the world defines it, not defeat, not failure, not resignation, but the holy surrender of a heart laid bare before me. The sacred release of your control, your fears, your timelines, your how and your when. Surrender is not giving up, it is giving over. It is the act of opening your hands and saying, Father, I trust you more than I trust myself. And this, beloved, is where true strength is born. You've been trying to carry more than you were ever meant to bear. You've been wearing the weight of outcomes, of pleasing people, of getting it all right. You've been stretching your soul thin trying to hold every piece together. But child, that's not your job. That's mine. I never asked you to be perfect. I never asked you to perform. I never asked you to hold it all. I asked you to abide in me, to rest in me, to surrender to me. And when you do, my strength will rise within you and carry you where your own effort never could. Do you not remember? I give power to the faint. I renew the strength of those who wait, not those who push and panic. Those who wait. There is strength in surrender. There is power in letting go. There is beauty in laying your life on the altar again and again, not as a victim, but as a vessel. Surrender is not passive, it is the most active form of trust. When you surrender, you are not losing, you are aligning. And in alignment, miracles are born. You've asked me to move in your life. You've cried out for breakthrough. You've asked for clarity, for purpose, for direction. But I must ask you, have you truly surrendered it all? Not just the pieces you're comfortable releasing. Not just the areas where you've already made peace, but the dreams you grip tightly, the identity you've built in your own strength, the relationships you're afraid to place in my hands, the pain you still carry because you fear what healing might require. I cannot bless what you still insist on controlling. I cannot transform what you refuse to release. But the moment you lay it down, the very moment I begin to breathe resurrection into the places that felt beyond hope. I step into the void with fullness. I replace your burden with my yoke, which is light. I lift what crushed you. I multiply what you sacrificed. I anoint what you place on the altar. Child, the altar is not the end, it is the beginning. And everything placed on it in faith is consumed by my fire, not to destroy, but to purify, to renew, to prepare it for greater purpose. What you surrender today becomes seed for the harvest tomorrow. Don't be afraid to let go. Don't be afraid to say, Father, I give this to you. Even if I don't understand. Even if it costs me what I thought I wanted. Even if it means walking away from what's familiar. Even if it means walking by faith, not sight. Because on the other side of surrender is safety. I never lead you where my grace will not sustain you. I never strip something away without giving you something greater. I never call you into surrender without pouring out fresh oil in return. Let me in. Not just to the places you've polished and presented, but to the places you've hidden and locked away. Let me be Lord, not just over your Sundays, but over your scars. Not just your future, but your failure. Not just your gifting, but your grief. I want all of you not to control, but to restore. Because I love you that deeply. I want to walk with you not in a shallow transaction of duty, but in the deep rhythm of surrender, where you no longer strive to earn my love, but simply abide in it, where you stop praying for outcomes and start praying for my presence, where peace replaces panic, where joy returns, not because everything is easy, but because everything is mine. You're not too far. You're not too hardened. It's not too late. Surrender can happen in a single breath. A whisper in the dark. A quiet, trembling yes when everything inside you is screaming to hold on. That's where transformation begins. That's where the floodgates of heaven open. That's where your true strength awakens, not forged in effort, but formed in intimacy. I am not looking for a perfect vessel. I'm looking for a willing one. Lay it down, child. Lay it all down. And watch what I can do with a life fully surrendered. Because where your strength ends, mine begins. And I have never failed those who trust me.